Measuring 350 kilometers, this will easily be my longest ever gravel ride. But luckily, we're doing it over 3 days, so it should be fun. This is the King Alfred's Way. Named after Alfred the Great, king of the Anglo-Saxons who ruled this land over 1,000 years ago, the long-distance circular route is based in the south of England and brings together many well-known off-road trails such as the Southdown Way, Ridgeway and Salisbury Plain and many other ancient tracks. The route is tailor-made for bikepacking. You can ride it in as many days as you want, and while challenging, it's still accessible to cyclists of all levels. You can ride it on any bike, but a mountain bike or gravel bike is preferable due to the majority of gravel tracks on a mostly off-road route. Starting in Winchester, the former capital of England, under the shadow of a statue honouring Alfred's reign, the route passed many historical monuments from Stonehenge, A3 stone circles to several Iron Age forts, so you can fully immerse yourself in the history of the green and pleasant land as well as a riding experience. Well, day one has been fun. We had a load of rain in the morning, but thankfully after lunch it eased off. Nice and muddy. The route's been good so far. A nice mix of road, nice quiet country lanes, and some really fine gravel from the Ridgeway where we started, right down here to the Devil's Punch Bowl, with quite a chunky, tasty climb up the side of it. Yeah, so quite a good route, a good variation, and we met loads of people doing the same ride as well. All mixes, abilities, all sorts of bikes as well. Great to see the route being so popular with so many people as well. So, and it's a Friday as well, so not even a weekend. There's loads of people out riding the route. Fantastic to see. Look at the state of that hill. Is it hurting yet, Chris? Can you feel the pain?
Not yet. The joy of being in front of Alex.
Cleared the horror climb. Day two has been absolutely fantastic, and as you can see, it's been sunny, so more smiles all around compared to the rain we had yesterday. And the route, which has been mostly the Southdown Way, has been absolutely fabulous. So mostly gravel, quite a lot of climbing, punchy climbs, sort of rolling terrain. This is what the King Alfred's Way is all about, just high quality gravel, and you're riding through lush countryside, very green, just a real good showcase for England at its finest. And we got to see King Alfred himself, the statue in the centre of Winchester, where the ride officially starts and finishes. So that's a King Alfred, that's the official start and finish for the ride, but we've actually not started here, but this is where you could start if you wanted to. It's a good place to get a photo and learn about King Alfred himself. So we propped the bikes up against the statue, got a photo, and then carried on and got some food. Nice yummy pizza and pint of beer. And now we're heading off into the evening sun to find somewhere to camp. While camping, it's all about arriving late and leaving early. So waiting till the sun sets and find a spot far away from civilization and early morning dog walkers, which we're doing now. So heading deep into the countryside on this really bumpy path. Find a spot to put our tents up, get a few hours kip before we head off early tomorrow morning. So he slept in a field just outside Salisbury while camping, left no trace of course. Slept really well actually, almost too warm. Nice early start today, and the route has been good. You can do it on any bike you want as well. Cyclocross, mountain bike or gravel, as I'm doing. Whatever really suits your riding style. I recommend a wide tyre as wide as you can go, and some super low gears for some of the big climbs on this route. But other than that, whatever you've got, whatever you like, whatever you're used to, works for you. But let me show you my bike setup for the trip, give you some idea of how you could do it. So this is the bike I used, my very own and personal Fairlight Cycles Socan, a small British bike brand, and this is a steel framed gravel bike. Now I will do a much more in-depth look at the bike and all the equipment choices I made and why I made them in a separate video, which should be linked down below and floating in the box up there hopefully, so you can watch that if you want to find out more about this bike and the choices I made. But very quickly, a gravel bike is perfect for this route, when it's dry especially, and this bike is a really good example of a gravel bike. So a nice refined steel frame, carbon fork with maximum tyre clearance, so plenty of space for these 40mm wide tyres, which are a fast rolling tyre but it's dry and they work really well for me. Nice low pressures, 40 psi at the back and 35 at the front, a bit higher than I normally run to account for the extra weight on the bike. Low range gears, 1140 cassette on the back and a 40 on the front, which was just low enough for some of the steeper climbs, but you might want lower, especially with the extra weight on the bike. 2 water bottles, and then 4 bags strapped to the frame and handlebar with all my sleeping equipment up front, tools and other essentials and lots of food in the frame pack, my GoPro camera and microphone in the top tube pack, and all my cooking equipment, more clothes, toiletries and other essentials and more food as well in the seat pack, and of course my dangle mug, mainly there to annoy people or see how much it annoys people. The bike on the scales is just over 20 kilos, which is twice the normal unladen weight. And that weight makes it so stable at high speed and on the rough stuff, like a tank, doesn't move around that easily, nice and planted. It's fine until you get off a bike or back on the bike. But yeah, it rides really well for a 20 kilo bike, which really surprised me.
Not to fall off.
Day 3 then, our route started just outside of Salisbury and up through Salisbury Plain, through the MOD land with some artillery fire, which is interesting, and Avery Stones for ice cream. Then here on the Ridgeway back to where we started, Wantage. And that's the beauty of this route, you can start and finish wherever you want. You can do a leg of it, you don't have to do it in one go. You can do as much or as little as you want, really flexible. We stopped off at Stonehenge to get our photo, as you do. And one of the other great things about this route is the historical interest, such as Stonehenge. If you're into history, there's loads of landmarks along this route. The guidebook's a good place to check out everything you need to know to make sure you get the full history tour and experience from the King Alfred's Way. Well, that has been a thoroughly enjoyable 3 days on a bike, and I highly recommend the King Alfred's Way to anybody who wants a really fun couple of days on the bike with great trails, roads and amazing countryside, landscapes and views for miles. It really is worth doing. And there's really no right or wrong way to do it either. You can have it as wild or as civilised as you like. You can take as long as you want, 6 days, a week. You can do it as fast as you want in one go, 3 nights if you want, or 3 days. It's a nice, sensible way of doing it. Nice long days in the saddle, but enough time for some nice pub food along the way, taking the views, get some photos, and really enjoy the experience to the full. And you ride any bike you want, gravel, mountain bike, a cyclocross. I recommend a gravel or mountain bike with big tyre and low gear for some of the climbs. And as many people you want, solo, with a buddy, groups of 6, whatever works. So yes, I heartily recommend the King Alfred's Way. I'm really impressed with how Cycling UK have pieced together so many good trails with some really nice, mostly traffic free country roads, but most of it is off-road, and it's such a variety from tight twisty single track to wide open gravel. It really is a good test of bike and rider. Anyway, hope you enjoyed watching the video, and if you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you all again next time. Thank you for watching.